It's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting, and I'm coming to you from my car, which I have pretty much never done before. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, Episode 3. Now, I have seriously been enjoying this season so much. It's very funny, even with the 25 people who are all cast members on this show. I'm just gonna go off memory because, like I said, I'm super busy, didn't have the time or the energy to take note. So I'll just talk about the things that I thought were, super funny. The whole situation between Brooke and Jade is hilarious to me. Like I said last week, Brooke was super wrong for feeling like she needed to go to Jade first instead of talking to Marcus. And that's something that Jade said to her when she confronted her at the coconut oil release party, was that you need to be talking to this man, who you claim is the love of your life and your boyfriend or whatever. So they got into that little argument or whatever, and then Chanel West Coast started talking. The only thing good that Chanel West Coast said was that little quip about the feather, talking about Brooke looks like Captain Hook, which was very funny to me. But Chanel just should have shut up, and Nia kind of was like, you just talk too much. So the best part about that situation between Brooke and Marcus was when Brooke popped up at their cigar shop and told him to get Jade to come up there. And so Brooke comes out of the shadow once Jade arrives, and Jade is like, hey Marcus, if your life is in danger, you can blink twice. And so Brooke basically ran that whole little session and basically used her puppet strings to get Marcus to say to Jade, we've never been together. You were just a little piece on the side, you were helping me with my divorce, but you were just, a little side piece. You were never my woman. And so Jade is all, I feel like she's underreacting a little bit, but she's like, I would never think in a million years that you would do something like this to me. And Jade claims that she had known him for 12 years, but Jade is only 25, so you've known him since you were 13? Like what? Anyways, and so what was funny to me was when Brooke finally got Marcus to basically disown Jade, she goes outside of the cigar shop with him, and Marcus thinks it's gonna be, just him and Brooke for the rest of their lives, and that he feels accomplished, you know what, I did it. You witnessed me telling her that she meant nothing to me. And then Brooke says, okay, we're done. And Brooke said, I did what I came to do, which was essentially see the both of you all break up. And so she got Marcus to break up everything with Jade, and then she broke up with him just because she wanted to do it, just for the fun of it. And that was so funny to me. That was hilarious. So that was one of the more entertaining parts of the show for me. So now we see some more Chris crossover from Love and Hip Hop New York. And in addition to Richie Dollars dating Moniece last season, we have Cisco, another member of the Creep Squad, dating Tiara. Now, typically, we'd like to see hot messes on these reality TV shows, but watching Tiara Marie unravel is not fun. Apparently, Tiara Marie was in New York and she fell in love with Cisco. And while she was there, she was working out, she was drinking less, she was changing her life, according to what she had told her friends. But as we can see, I guess moving back to Los Angeles has actually restarted all of her party girl ways. She was clearly inebriated at the little dinner. I didn't think that Zell's comment was appropriate. I thought Cisco was a little too sensitive about it, because apparently Moniece had some beef with him. I didn't think that I'm actually starting to kind of like Moniece more than I have in previous seasons, because she's been very chill this season. And like I said, I think that being in a relationship with AD has benefited her in her ability to stay cool, calm down, and I think that's great. So I kind of like Moniece this season. But anyway, Moniece's beef with Sisqó was not serious, and that's the way that she treated it. And so as she was addressing it, Zell said the comment about, you know, Sisqó crying, and I think that while Moniece defended Sisqó and said, you know, he was not crying, Sisqó got upset and he decided to leave. Now, for some people, leaving is so that they won't, you know, escalate the situation, but I do think Sisqó was being a little too sensitive in that situation. But anyways, so Zell is proving to be like somebody that I'm really not gonna like on the show. I'm not a fan of, you know, messy queens who get off on, you know, shoveling around mess. Like, he is one of those people that's sprinkled on other people's storylines because he really doesn't have anything going for himself besides his association with other people on the show. So I don't really like Zell, but the whole situation gets real weird because Tiara had a big old glass of wine, and we could see her becoming more and more drunk as that glass of wine got more and more empty. And then when she goes outside to talk to Sisqó, she's not making any sense. She's almost falling all over the place, and she decides to leave with him instead of staying behind with her friends. Now, Nia felt like it was her responsibility as a friend to let Sisqó know that this girl is an alcoholic, and are you helping her with that alcoholism? And it's like, is it her boyfriend's job to help her with her alcoholism, or is it the friend's job? I don't know. You know, it would be nice to know that he's not an enabler and that he's putting her in a position where she is constantly around alcohol and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily know if that's Nia's responsibility, but she took it upon herself anyways. So that whole situation was weird. It's very, very sad to see Tiara Marie coming undone. So that was really uncomfortable for me. Let's see what else happened in the show. Tavares coconut oil release party. Like I said, the only thing good that happened there was Jade or whatever. Chanel West Coast performed. It was okay. Yeah, so that was that. We have Ray J and Princess. This is the third episode, and this is the very first time that we're seeing Princess, and Princess is eager to get pregnant. And so she tells us why, because she came from kind of, I guess I'll say, a broken home where she didn't really have too much communication with her mother and father. And so not having that communication with the mother and father, she is trying to establish a family of her own. So Ray J still has not told his wife about his super low sperm count, even though two of his closest friends know about his super low sperm count, plus the whole world, you know, at this point right now knows about it. But I knew, and I believe I said in one of my reviews that he was not going to be able to tell her right away that he had a problem with his soldiers. And so we see Ray J meeting up with dude, I can't even think, Alexis Sky and Alexis Sky's new man, and I don't know his name. They've only been dating for a month, but he looks weird. He dyed one of his eyebrows. He's odd. I don't know who he is. Apparently he's a rapper, a musician. And both Alexis Sky and Princess at this point feel like they both might be pregnant because they're missing periods and whatnot. And so for Princess, I'm like, you know, I hope she's pregnant, which we later find out that she's not. But Alexis Sky, if you only been with this dude for a month and you're missing your period, there's a chance that the baby isn't the new guy's. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Not saying that Alexis Sky is a person who sleeps around or whatever, but the timeline just kind of don't seem right, but whatever. So later on, Alexis Sky talks to her boyfriend, and they have an issue because Alexis Sky has some beef, or is consistently being attacked by her new guy's old baby mama. And so what Alexis Sky wants this guy to do is to defend her, which I totally understand, but considering how you guys have only been dating for a month, I don't know. but I get what she was trying to say. And they just had like an argument out of nowhere. And she said, she had missed her period, and he was, happy about it. And she's like, why are you so happy about this? I don't want to be just another baby mama like the one that's attacking me. So their relationship is hopefully going to fall apart, and hopefully she is not pregnant by this man, because to me their relationship seems too volatile when it's supposed to be in the honeymoon stages. So whatever on that. So later on we see that Princess, is not pregnant, and she's very upset about it. And Ray J is trying to comfort her, but why won't he tell her about these results? It could be his manly pride or whatever, but we see that Princess is real upset, and she probably thinks there's something wrong with her, and that's why she's not getting pregnant. But Ray J is doing the wrong thing by not telling her what's really going on, and that the problem is most likely him. So real quick, y'all, I totally forgot about the A1 Lyrica story. So first, let me say that it's very nice to see the mamas getting along. That's great. It's very nice to see A1, doing something for himself, continuing to be successful, creating his own label is great. Now, some people may disagree with me, but I kind of get what Lyrica says about them not bringing on any new female artist until her project gets off the ground. Because we have seen a lot of instances where a woman who is an artist is married to a producer or record executive like Tamar, and Tamar's project didn't get put out for years after they were married. So, if you bring on these new people for whatever reason, because your wife is your wife, you feel like she'll be more understanding of not being put out, because she's not going to go to no other label. So if you bring on somebody that's not your wife, you feel more obligated to get their stuff off the ground because they have the option to leave. So I don't really know if that's necessarily true, but I guess that's what I think the mindset is. But anyways, I get what Lyrica is saying about her project needing to come out first before he tries to sign other people. So I think that she's using that also to protect herself, but also to motivate A1 to get her project done first, because the sooner he can help her get her project out, the sooner he can bring on other female artists. But A1 doesn't see it that way. He sees it as basically an ultimatum. And eventually, Ty Dolla $ign's sister comes into the office with her manager, and her manager has some type of accent, British or something like that. Her manager is like, we need to see, what we can do. And so he's like, well, I can't sign you at this time. And so he said, I'm going to bring my wife out here so she can tell y'all why I can't sign you. So he, like I said last time, he throws his wife under the bus and brings her out and tells her at that moment in time, while they're all sitting down together, that Lyrica is going to explain to you guys why I can't sign any female artists. So problem number one, he threw her under the bus. And then he opened up the door for there to be a confrontation. So he was kind of like a messy queen for that. I didn't like that. Lyrica, it's kind of blindsided. So Lyrica explains it, and she was like, we're not signing any new artists until my project is out. Now, somebody, I can't remember if it was the manager or Ty Dolla $ign's sister, Angel Gold. Now, I don't know what the deal is with these people having all of these like pornographic names, but Angel Gold, really? It's the worst name ever. Anyways, so somebody pointed out that, hey, your actions seem like you're kind of threatened by another female artist. And she's like, no, I'm not threatened at all, which I don't necessarily believe. But I do think that if A1's attention is divided, then her stuff will get put on the back burner, just like I said earlier. But anyways, so the manager didn't get the picture. Lyrica was very nice about it. And so the manager is like, well, we'll you will have a separate meeting with you and continue discussing this. And then Lyrica loses her patience and she's like, it's not gonna happen. Like, what part of you all are definitely not gonna be a part of this label till my stuff is done? Don't you understand? What part of that didn't you get? And so when Lyrica gets loud, then Angel Gold decides to get up. And so there was like a little bit of a threat of a fight initially, but everything kind of cooled down and the manager and Angel Gold left. So A1 and Lyrica get into this argument, and basically Lyrica's like, you threw me under the bus and you didn't even tell me when you came to get me that this is what I was going to do. Had you told me that I needed to explain why we couldn't sign a new female artist, it would have been different. But basically he blindsided her and threw her under the bus, and she didn't like that, so she threw some water on him. And you know, A1 feels like that Lyrica can't tell him what to do, but I don't know if they're business partners and husband and wife, like if she owns a part of the record label or whatever. But I do think that she definitely has a point. And that, you know, sometimes men, in order to get what you want, you just got to do what your girl tell you to do. If you do what she asks you to do, then, you know, there's no argument. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comment section down below. Thank you for everyone who has been subscribing and who continue to watch my videos. So thank you guys for watching, and peace out, home slices.